When's the last time that you felt like you were watching a modern day Christmas classic? The type of film that you want to put on year round, time and time again, because it just filled you with the hope and joy and spirit of Christmas. And I tried to think about that to myself. This Christmas, I've been really trying to get into the holiday spirit, letting the magic of Christmas take over me. But I haven't really found it. I tried to, get there through Hallmark movies that were just bad, not good, no story, no substance. But then I had a bit of a Christmas miracle. This past November, a movie just came out called A Christmas Karen, written, directed, and edited by the amazing John Bukowski. I encourage you, I beg you, just go watch it. It is free on the Pluto app. It has ads, which isn't great. I hate ads, but I mean, you can watch it for free. It's the best holiday movie I've definitely seen in the past 5 years. Walking you through the movie a bit, it's pretty simple. It's like A Christmas Carol. You have a Scrooge type character, a Karen, who is a horrible person that you don't want to be around, that you don't enjoy seeing really at all. Even going to the store and having them in your line sucks because they suck the life out of you. And she kind of learns her way through Christmas and what Christmas is really about and why being a bad person just isn't a great thing. I cannot prepare you for the absolute joy that you get from viewing this movie. What makes the film so great is the characters feel very, very real. It's as if they could be someone you really know and interact with in your day-to-day lives. Every single one of the characters that you see throughout the film. It also shows how easy it is to not just be a bad person. A person who goes out of their way, seemingly, to make you not have a good day. There are many of them today. More than ever, we have lost the spirit of Christmas and just the spirit of being good and enjoyable people. And this movie paints that in a great light. Today, I'm going to go through some of about 5 different things that I fully love about this film. And I can't wait to share with all of you. The star of this film is Karen, of course, played by Michelle Sims. And she starts off as our typical Scrooge, person that nobody really enjoys, doing everything in her power to just be a mean, surly person. She even hits a kid, literally, the first 5 minutes of the film. She hits a child with her car and then complains about how they caused a scratch on her giant Jeep, I believe it was. Insane. Sure, one way that you could retell the idea of A Christmas Carol is to use some figure that is kind of Elon Musk-ish in nature. Somebody with just this a huge amount of money who flaunts it and just ruins the lives of people. But what makes this really cool is that you don't directly interact with Elon Musk. At least I don't. And most of the people I'm around don't either. Karen, that goes to your local grocery store, holding up the line because they want to buy wine with a 4-year-old coupon. Well, yeah, you probably have seen that, and you probably have been negatively affected by a person like that. So, as I said before, it draws on a very real character that all the audience knows and can just go about understanding. The movie portrays her as an, of course, very flawed character. You know, when the Ghost of Christmas Past comes and she's seen as a latchkey kid, she has family doesn't really come around. She's just by herself, hanging out. And then years later, next Christmases, it's just her and her brother. And there's no real love that can be felt in the home. And of course, this is a bad thing. It's a sad thing. And a lot of people have to live with experiences like this. But not everybody is sitting there torturing people because of it. The movie does a great job showcasing that just because your life kind of has a couple left turns in it doesn't mean you have to keep doing that. It doesn't let Karen get off just because of her past, because everybody has had a rough past. We all have things we work through. The other characters in this are also phenomenal. That being the ghost. They're staples of the telling of A Christmas Carol. We have the Ghost of Christmas Past, played by Roland Alexis. What I love about the ghost is that they all act as pretty much the antithesis of Karen and her personality completely. With the Ghost of Christmas Past, we have the type of person that set her down this bad path because she didn't like them then, and now she just kind of grew resentment for them, which is a loud, flamboyant, very flashy, gay black man. And she hates this, of course. And, of course, the only way that he can use any of his powers is if she is physically touching him. Physically breaking the barrier between her and him and closing that gap. It's beautiful, truly, and it's hilarious. Then we have the second ghost, the Ghost of Christmas Present, who is the absolute opposite of Karen as she is in the present day. You know, we have, her name is Joy. It's so over the top. She is caring, she's genuine, she's heartfelt, and she is played by the wonderful Layla Lawrence. We have the Ghost of Christmas's Future, played by Lee Karlinski, and it is the embodiment of everything she hates currently, such as a punk of a teenager with an emo alternative aesthetic who really is just a cool kid if you got to talk to him and know him and gave him the time of day. But as we have learned, Karen doesn't ever do that, because why would they do that? There's nothing in it for them. The embodiment of all these ghosts challenges her to face herself in a way, because she is seeing that which she hates, that which she doesn't know and or doesn't even care to know. And it forces her to just think past it just a little bit, you know? That's basically the entire point of this movie. It's like, hey, you don't have to be perfect. Just try to be a little bit better. And that's what all of these ghosts represent. And it's a very beautiful thing to see it in the film, which you should hopefully be watching right now. Maybe pause the video. I'll be here when you get back. Now, of course, A Christmas Carol is a very old story. We've seen it before, and it gets retold a ton of times. With A Christmas Carol, it is such a breath of fresh air because it's so grounded in the reality that we know today. The idea of A Christmas Carol is so far removed from us. You know, most people don't have a penny pension boss. You know, some do, and I feel bad for those people, but a lot don't. Most are just, you know, their managers just also trying to get through their day-to-day life. So this is a very new, grounded story that hasn't been done before. It is also a retelling of sorts of what a Hallmark movie can be or is. When you think of a Hallmark movie, especially Christmas movies, they feel very heartless. There's no story, really. I guarantee you, check for yourself. Go to Netflix right now and type in A Christmas Prince. Watch it. For the best viewing experience, watch it before you watch A Christmas Karen, because wow. The story doesn't have any actual joy in it because there's no story in it in the first place. And this movie diverts from that. It's low budget, sure, but it's made with care, and most of all, it's made with intention. A Christmas Karen is what happens when you give the ability to storytellers to tell a story. We don't need a giant budget holiday film. That's not what the holidays are about. It's not what Christmas is about. And all of these movies try to tell us that. I want to care about a film, and I care about this film because it cares about the story it's telling. Comedy is hard. Let's not really kid ourselves. It's very easy to make a movie that isn't funny because sometimes the writers, well, all writers are biased because they're writing it. So it can be hard to kind of hone in on what is and isn't funny. With A Christmas Carol, though, this film sets you up with a giant, big, juicy punching bag of a character in Karen. I mean, it's easy to just kind of keep punching the punching bag. And what this movie does really well is finding other ways to laugh. You laugh at the absurdity of the movie, the spectacularity of everything. You're not just constantly punching at Karen. You're laughing at all the other things that are happening, which is really good. And the beat of this movie is fantastic. Truly. You don't even know that you're ready for a laugh until it slaps you right in the face. The movie plays just like A Christmas Carol. But despite that, it's so new and fresh, and the comedy is so of our time that you just enjoy the experience. You're not even really keeping track of how long you've been watching the movie. A cool thing about my first viewing of it was that, of course, since I watched it on Pluto, which has ads, the ads almost kind of gave me the ability to digest what I was watching and witnessing in real time. It's kind of like having little intermissions sporadically through it. By the end of the film, you are filled with hope and joy for a better tomorrow. And that is the exact type of thing I want in a Christmas movie. I want to be overjoyed. I want to go run and go put up more Christmas decorations, bake cookies, and give them out to little kids just because. I want to be able to do that after watching a Christmas movie. A movie should make me feel like that. And A Christmas Carol does make me feel that way, which is why it's so important to go and watch this film, because I think if I can feel that way about this movie, well, other people can probably feel that way about this movie. And if that even a little bit makes the world a little bit better, that's a good thing. With the set design, it tells the story of who this Karen is. There's wine decor everywhere in this film. I don't know what at home that this production company went to and ransacked for all their "it's wine o'clock somewhere" and "pour me up my wine." There's so many of it. It paints a beautiful story of who the character is, which is what good set design should be doing. And it just rehones the point of this entire video. Everything that was chosen, all the decisions for this movie were chose with intent in mind. Something that many films don't seem to really be doing. The role of the Cratchits is fulfilled through Karen's neighbors, who don't really have a last name. It's Ashley, Nia, and Chris. I'll just call them the Goodmans for now, because they're the good people of this film, the ones you want to help. What's great about the Goodmans is that all of the problems feel very relatable. They feel like a family that is struggling to stay afloat with a sick kid. And it feels like they are a family who's just trying to get through the holidays with the worst neighbor humanly possible. And this is something that we all can kind of feel. We all have people in our lives that we just kind of deal with because they're there and we can't make them not be there. So we just kind of live around them and make the best of every single interaction we can have with them, which is exactly what this family does time and time again, even after Karen is calling the cops on a lemonade stand that is in the neighborhood, which was done so the little girl could raise money for her cancer treatments. Sorry, leukemia treatments. Not that it makes it better. The Goodman struggle, it feels very real. It feels very immediate, even. It can become hard at times to gain true feelings for a story when you already know the ending. Again, we've all seen A Christmas Carol. We know the ending. This doesn't diverge from the ending whatsoever. There's this moment in the film where the Goodmans are reading the note from their daughter about what she wants for Christmas. And it is the most heartfelt moment in this entire film. It feels like a little girl just wants to make life easier for her family, and you feel very real emotions. We also get this sense of relatability in all of the ghosts that we get to interact with and see in the film, because they are just pleading to our Karen, just be a good person. Just think before you act. Just don't be so selfish all the time. It's asking the bare minimum. I didn't talk about this character in the character section, but the character Todd is the brother of Karen in this film. And Todd was given a very crappy hand at life, just like his sister was. He also didn't have, family members there supporting him. And on top of that, he grew up gay with a sister who hated him for it and continued to hate him for it well on into adulthood, straight up disowning him. And even Todd doesn't let this make him a bad person. We see it very clearly that it is your outlook on life. It is how you go about doing things that matter. Life sucks sometimes, but it doesn't have to be the reason you make life suck for other people. So it doesn't give any excuse for Karen to be a Karen. Oh my gosh, another character I didn't get to mention, Coochie Chains, stole the show. I mean, my goodness. Her presence in this film is just, it's to die for. You go into this movie at the very beginning thinking that this is going to be your stereotypical Hallmark movie, and then Coochie Chains comes in to play, and it throws you. It's a great time. Long live Coochie Chains, I will always say. For the sake of fair critique, though, I will also go into a few things that I didn't love about this movie. It's two things. So it's not even a few, it's a couple. But I do want to keep these here because if I'm going to praise and shout my love for this film, I should also stay true and say the things I don't super duper love. But it does feel like Karen is on the ground a lot in this movie. She is constantly on the ground, it feels like. And when she's not on the ground, she's running into things. Again, some people may love that. I could have taken it, I could have left it at the door, personally. Another thing is the dialogue in a select few of the scenes that are entirely dependent on Karen having to listen in on other people to know what's going on. Now, what this looks like is it's just kind of droning on a little bit about Karen being a buzzkill, which is really just stating the obvious for everyone who knows A Christmas Carol story and has been watching the movie, because we all know Karen's a bit of a buzzkill. But moments like these are, of course, needed in the film because Karen isn't aware Karen's a buzzkill. So we do need it at times. It's just the dialogue in some of those scenes just feels kind of repetitive because they're just ragging on Karen. A good thing about this, though, is at the very end of the film, where she is reiterating and reciting all of the names she was called throughout the movie. It's a great time. So they made up for it in the end, which I absolutely love. This film is, again, as I will say, amazing. I will shout its praise. From the highest mountaintop and from the lowest valley, I will shout praise for this movie because I feel like it's a movie that is very necessary in today's climate. Every year, I'm on different social media, just scrolling as one does, and every year around Christmas time, the same topics are brought up. Oh, Christmas doesn't really feel like it used to, or I don't have the Christmas spirit anymore, and I'm a Grinch this Christmas. It was even on Twitter. It's currently December 14th, so maybe some of y'all will know if y'all also saw it on Twitter. Some tweet about, like, oh, I bought myself for all the things I wanted, didn't get presents, and we should all be doing this. And it's like, no, we shouldn't. That's not what Christmas is about. It's not about just getting gifts for others and yourself. It's about being a part of a community, part of a family, and coming together and embracing those people that you love, because those people aren't here forever. And facing that is really tough. When you give yourself a chance to chase the magic of Christmas, the magic of Christmas opens its doors to you. And A Christmas Karen is the type of movie that opens the door for Christmas magic to blow in. So, grab a nice hot cup of chocolate or drink of choice, sit around with your family, and watch A Christmas Karen. I will say it again and again and again and again and again till the end of time. Watch it. Enjoy the time, because the time won't be here forever. And it's important that you show love and care to those around you.